What's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Buck Theater, and today we're going to be talking about this article popping up on Entertainment Weekly about Mark Hamill explaining why his time on Star Wars is officially over. And I hate that, by the way. I hate these two words right here, officially over. Come on, plunge a dagger in me already. Just get it over with. Officially over. That's so sad because of the way it went out. You know, like I'm just not like I can defend the sequel trilogy to an extent, and I have, and I will continue to rewatch Force Awakens and the Rise of Skywalker, and try to think pleasant thoughts about the Last Jedi. But I don't. Come on, man. They could have done it. Anyway, let's go on to what he says here. So in the interview, he says when they ask him about him coming back, I can't imagine that. No, Hamill tells EW exclusively about whether or not he'd consider playing in the Star Wars universe again if the situation was right. Saying here, I had a beginning, a middle, and end. Those films gave me far more than I ever expected when we started out, so it's never even occurred to me. My farewell was in episode 9, and it was bittersweet. I love all those people, and I certainly have affection for George and the character he created. I'm full of gratitude for what this has given me in my career, but I don't want to be greedy. There are still so many more stories to tell and so many more great actors to tell them. They don't need me. Now, that's just Mr. Hamill being Mr. Humble Hamill, and I'll be the person to say it. That's a load of crap. All right, that's a load of crap. Look, it's true. It's a load of crap. So, okay, I understand what JJ was up to. I get it. I get what JJ was up to with The Force Awakens. It was establishing the fact that, Luke had definitely made, mistakes post Return of the Jedi, and then he was, he felt the best course of action was to isolate himself, and that was that. Okay, I get that. I totally get what he was going for, but then, for some reason, Johnson, I know Johnson tried to make Luke a deeper character, and I think he did well on that front of making, trying to take what JJ did and then expand upon it through a dramatic way. And I'm trying to look at it from the perspective of Walter White in Breaking Bad, that kind of at the end of Breaking Bad, how Walter White isolated himself before coming back and dying, how he had gone away because he'd screwed everything up. And I think Luke kind of was in that same headspace. He was in that same Walter White headspace. He was Luke Skywalker, not, the Last Jedi Luke Skywalker, or the General Skywalker, or hero of the rebellion. He was Luke. And I get what he was going for. And on some fundamental level, I can respect it, but it's still that ending that it just kills it for me. That ending that didn't need to be there. That ending that the Lucasfilm could have just told Ryan we're cutting it 5 seconds early and then leaving it open. I still to this day don't, and I don't want to hear the sanctimony of the story nonsense. All right. I don't want to hear that crap. If Luke had been gone for 30 years and it was all rumor, myths, and legends anyway, then him showing up and doing what he did would have had the same impact on the rest of the galaxy. He didn't need to die. You could have just cut that part short and still had the movie end the way it was going to end. All right. That's a load of crap, and people sit there and go, but he wanted to protect the sanctity of his story. No, there's times, Stephen King says it best. You have to kill your babies. All right. There are times when you have to kill your babies. And this is when Kathleen Kennedy should have put on the surgical mask and grabbed I'm not going to make the joke. I'm not going to make the joke. She should have gone in there through a creative decision and said, "No, we're snipping this 5 seconds early." All right? That's what they should have done. Put her foot down, picked up little Ryan, put him in the corner and said, "Now you listen. That's our moneymaker. All right? Luke is our moneymaker. You don't with that, you little, all right? You don't do it." That's what she should have done. She didn't do it, obviously. Because we are where we are. Years later, we are where we are. 3 years later, we are where we are. Anyway, so you have that. Still killed it. And then, of course, Terrio and JJ, knowing that Luke was going to die. Knowing! In September. of 2017 when they came on board to do episode 9, knowing he was gonna die. Still did not, didn't fight for it. I don't understand like that. No one just took Ryan out back and beat him with the salmon to say, stop it, we're taking the scene out. And they should have like enforced it. Like, I need Luke alive to continue my story. I need Luke to have his redemption arc. Okay, he's got to have his redemption arc. This is the whole thing. All right, this is what it should be. And then it's all like, no, we're gonna have him come back and have him be one day on set. This is like one day on set. We had 30 seconds with Luke, it feels like. It was cool that they basically like completely crapped on The Last Jedi in that scene when he caught the lightsaber. Oh yeah, no, you should treat these with respect, Like, who would have ever thrown this away? I mean, not me, not Luke Skywalker, right? Oh. Like, that's what they should have done. And they didn't do it. Because, I don't know, reasons and stuff. However, it's bittersweet because it should have ended differently. It should have ended differently. It should have ended with Luke training Rey to be. As he's getting older, he finds his newfound faith in the Jedi Order. He finds it again. He had lost his way, but he brought himself back. He redeemed himself. That's what it should have been, considering that these movies are always about redemption. I know the redemption arc was meant to be Ben Solo. He could still have the same arc. He still could have had the same arc. We could have worked it out with Luke, this last living family member. He could have been like, this is my last living family member. I need to reconnect with him. They could have given it like a more happier ending. It's lazy what happened. I think, I like Chris Terrio as a writer, and I do like JJ as a creative, but it was lazy. It was lazy is what it boils down to. They didn't care. I don't think at this point now, I really honestly think, they didn't care. They just had to get it done, and they just chose what they felt was the best method, and no one there, as what seems to be a lack of oversight entirely throughout all of Lucasfilm, the movies, not the TV shows. Those are beautiful, those are wonderful, those are in their own little box, and they're great. But the movies need work, and I kind of blame. Yeah, I have blames. Anyway, so yeah, it's bittersweet. It's absolutely bittersweet because it's not just for him; it's for us too. Because I mean, look at what he posted here. He says here, Instagram, may the 9th be a bittersweet episode knowing it was the last time I would ever play Luke. # bye bye Skywalker. And that is sad, man. That is really sad. That, he is a Force ghost and he didn't really do anything. I don't know. I think Disney was too afraid of I don't know. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it anymore. I just don't get it. But it's over. It's done with now. It can't hurt us anymore. It can't hurt us anymore. It just can't. We're it's locked up. It's behind bars. It's done. Now we have to look to the future, and now we can say we said goodbye to Luke Skywalker in a way that is bittersweet, and it should have been handled differently. It should have been handled better, and I think Mark Hamill deserved better. I think fans deserve better, and I think really I do think that Johnson is to blame for a lot of this. I think he should have had the foresight to think this is a franchise, and this is not just a single movie you're doing with your friends in your backyard. This is something that has consequences to it, long-reaching consequences to it, and for some reason, no one called them out on it, and that's going to be the biggest unanswered question, I think, for all of this. Why didn't you cut the last 5 seconds? If you would have cut the last 5 seconds and not faded Luke out, and then had him back in full force in episode 9, would we be in a different world? Yeah, 100%. It would just be different. People might argue. You're going to have your people that argue, though. Oh, but then it would have been just like a Luke movie. And I'm still waiting for the problem with that, people. Oh, it's a Luke movie? Oh my God, no, please, God, no, don't give us a Luke Skywalker movie, you sons of bitches. Anyway, I love Star Wars, but goddamn, that's frustrating. So yeah, officially over. That's okay. I mean, look, like I said, we've lived through it, we've survived. We've got the Mandalorian, we've got Mando season 2, all the stuff coming with that. The fact that Iger has said that Star Wars' future is on TV makes the most amount of sense. Creative entities telling creative stories using new emerging technology in a way that is going to reach more people. And I do want to quickly point out this thing here. Mark does say that when it comes to The Mandalorian, and he is 100% right here, he says, I think they have a wonderful advantage on The Mandalorian and that it's economical storytelling. They don't have the burden of delivering a gigantic special effects extravaganza like the films had to do. It sort of gets back to the basics of George envisioning it as a Western in space. It has that tone of a Sergio Leone Western. I'm very impressed with it, and to me, a very smart move on their part, because you can't keep trying to top. It's like the superhero movies that have to deliver these gargantuan epics, and with The Mandalorian, they can concentrate on more on the characters and the storytelling, and I think that's excellent. And that's exactly right. That's the right point to make. That is the right point to have. It is absolutely positively what they're doing with it, and that's why the sequel trilogy is going to be it's going to go down in history as being this like benchmark of how to F up a franchise. And then The Mandalorian is going to be the benchmark of how to save a franchise. It's very interesting. Under the same leadership, but just, I think, wildly different expectations. And that's really what it boils down to. I don't know if JJ had the time to deliver. They should have done 3 years and not 2, to be fair. They should have done a 3-year thing and not 2 years. But they also should have been planning ahead, and they didn't, and now they know, and that's what Mando is doing. And Mando is diving into the lore that Filoni has created and expanding upon that lore and using the popularity of Clone Wars and Rebels and everything else to build up this new base of Star Wars that's going to, I think, bring it back to the epitome of greatness for sci-fi westerns and things like that. Anyway, your thoughts, your opinions, let me know down in the comments below. If you made it this far, do me a favor, type Hamill in the comment section, because this is a bit of a long rant, but I hope you guys made it. If you also have done that, hit that like, smash it, beat it like a drum. If you want to keep supporting the channel, Patreon. You can do that by listening to this little jingle right now. Support the channel through Patreon. Support the channel through Patreon. Yo, you got $1 support the channel through Patreon. yeah, man. Just, let me throw down some fresh, fat beats to pimp the Patreon. Yeah. What's up, dog? Pimp it. Yeah, that's right.